Solution of quadratic equations by inverse operations. We create equations from real-life situations to solve problems by applying series of mathematical operations on unknown values to solve problems. We then apply inverse operations to find values of unknowns called solution of equations. In this lesson, we are going to apply inverse operations to find solution of equations where it is possible. Here we are given a question. So the given equation is x square equal to 9. If we compare it with standard form, it's always a good practice to compare it with standard form and to find out values of a, b and c. The comparing with standard form what is the standard form of the quadratic equation? That's ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the standard form. Let's call it 1. And the given equation, if we want to rewrite given equation, so let's rewrite given equation to find out values for a, b and c. We have x square plus, because there is no term involving x, so we can write it 0x. Whichever term is missing, we can write that term with 0 coefficient. And 9 should be on left hand side. So if we bring it on left side, we can write it minus 9 equal to 0. And obviously coefficient of x square is not visible. We can write it 1. If we compare the given equation in 2 with standard form of the quadratic equation, here we can see the values of a, b, c, or a is coefficient of x square in both cases. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and c is equal to minus 9. There is nothing a, b, c are going to do much in this case, but it's always good to have these values of a, b, c, because for other techniques we will be needing these values. Anyway, if we start with the given equation for the solution, the given equation, like we already know, is x square equal to 9. And which was the operation that was done on the value x? The operation that was done to make it x square was the operation of taking the square. If this was the square and x square is given that it is equal to 9, if we do the inverse operation on the equivalent value 9 to find out what is x, this is a strategy we have used for solving linear equations. But here the problem is that when we will apply the inverse operation on the square, which is called square root, the square root will give us two values of x. One is plus 3 and one is minus 3, because originally we don't know what was the value of x which produced upon taking the square 9. So plus 3, if x was 3, it can generate 9 when we take the square. If x was minus 3, it can also generate 9 when we take the square. So the operation square, we don't know if we applied it to plus 3 or we applied it to minus 3. So when we are taking the inverse operation, which is a square root, we obviously have to write down both of those possibilities. Therefore, x is equal to plus 3, or it could be minus 3. And these possible values of x are called solutions of the given equation. So we are going to write solution set that is equal to plus 3 and minus 3. So let's write down this. So for question number 2, here the question is 2x squared is equal to 150. So the given equation is equal to 2x squared equal to 150. So now we are going to do the same operation first on the variable x. So if unknown variable x is taken and then we transform this into x squared, and then x squared, we then apply another operation and we convert it into 2x squared, and first here it is square and then multiplication by 2. These are the operations which were done on the variable unknown x, and the equivalent value for 2x squared is equal to 150. And now if this is 150, so if we apply the inverse operation, what is the inverse operation of multiplication of 2? This will give us division by 2. So divide by 2, and this should give us 75. If we apply square root, which is inverse operation of a square, again it's going to split into two different branches. One will give us the square root of 75 with positive sign, and one will give us the square root with the negative sign. So these are the two possible values of x. But if we write it otherwise, we can see that 2x squared is equal to 150. Dividing on both sides by 2 will give us x squared equal to 75, and taking square root. But remember, these are the inverse operations of square. Taking square root of both sides. What we have here is, because we are taking the inverse operation of x squared, so the inverse operation is going to undo the operation square. That's why we have x on left hand side. The inverse operation will always undo the effects of operations. So here we have plus 75 under root, and instead of writing minus 75 under root, again we can only write plus minus here, and then we can simplify this 75 here by taking small division 75, and we can apply by small division, we can divide it by 3. This will give us 25. The next prime number that is going to divide it 5, and next is again 5. Here this will be 3 times 5 times 5, and out of this pair of 5, 1 5 can come out. This will be plus minus 5 times under root 3. This is called the solution, and we can write the solution set. Solution set is equal to 5 into under root 3 and minus 5 into under root 3. Here we have another technique which we are going to apply now on this third question, and that is solution by factorization. But in fact we are not factorizing, we are just taking advantage of the two factors. So solution by factorization, and we will discuss it in full detail in next tutorial. But just for introduction, we have a question here which says z time 2z plus 3 is equal to 0. z time 2z plus 3 is equal to 0. Now here if we look at these two factors, z time 2z plus 3, these are two factors whose product is equal to 0. And we know from the properties of real number, the product of two real numbers could be equal to 0 only if one of the two numbers is 0. The property is that for all a, b belonging to R, means for any two real numbers, if AB is equal to 0 or AB product AB equal to 0, means that either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Because if both are non-zero real numbers, their product can never be equal to 0. So either Z is equal to 0, this means either Z is equal to 0 or 2Z plus 3 is equal to 0. Now taking advantage of this, we can find out values of Z independently. Here already we have a value of Z that is equal to 0, or from this we can find the other value. If 2Z plus 3 is equal to 0, then we can isolate Z on left hand side just like we solve linear equations in one variable. So 2Z plus 3, and we take away 3 to transfer 3 on the right hand side, 0 minus 3, and we have 2Z equal to minus 3, and then dividing 2 on both sides, we will have Z is equal to, this will give us Z equal to minus 3 over 2. So the solution set, again the two possible values of Z which could make that equation true, is called the solution set. So the solution set is equal to the first possible value of Z, which is 0, and the second possible value of Z, which is minus 3 over 2. This is what is the solution. And let's do one more question here using the same technique, and this time we have x plus 2 times 2x minus 8. X plus 2 times, so given question is given equation is x plus 2 times 2x minus 8 equal to 0. This is number 4, and no new argument, it's the same thing. The product of two real numbers is equal to 0. This means that one of these factors must be 0, because if both of them are non-zero, their product can never be equal to 0. Now because the product is given equal to 0, so either x plus 2 is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. If the first factor is equal to 0, we are going to isolate x, and for that purpose we will be taking away 2 from left side to transfer it to right side, and for that purpose we will subtract 2 on both sides. Minus 2 is equal to 0, minus 2, so this will give us x equal to minus 2, and here for same reasons 2x minus 8 plus 8 equal to 0 plus 8, and here we will have 2x equal to 8 because 8 will cancel with minus 8 on this side, and then dividing both sides by 2 will give us x equal to 4. So the two possible values are minus 2 and plus 4. So the solution set is equal to minus 2 and plus 4. We can do the verification of this as well. If we substitute minus 2 instead of x in the given equation, definitely it should give us 0 on both sides, and same for 4, it should balance the equation on both sides.